Here we have verse 10 of the 16th chapter of the Gospel of John, Jesus giving this remarkable statement to the disciples concerning the way in which the Parakletos would be convicting the world through, of course, the words of the disciples themselves. And he delineates three different areas in which that conviction would be felt. First of all, sin, as he's already indicated, because they didn't believe in him. That was the ultimate consummate sin. In a sense, any other sin people might commit becomes a lesser included in that which is the most remarkable display of unbelief and rebellion of all. And then he comes to the second of these, which has to do with righteousness. So again, kind of in parallel to the previous verse, peri, preposition, takes the genitive as we find it here, dikaiosunes. This is the only context in which John uses that particular word. It's the word for righteousness. Plays a significant role, of course, elsewhere in the New Testament, especially in in Paul's writings and elsewhere. But here, it has a rather narrow sense to it, presumably concerning righteousness. Jesus says, "de," the soft conjunction, which goes along with the previous verse, which had men. So menda idiomatically stands for something like our English difference between on the one hand and on the other. That would be the sense of it. So on the one hand, you might say that they're being convicted of sin because they didn't believe, and now on the other hand, we're going to say concerning righteousness, hoti, again the conjunction means because, pros, preposition, takes the accusative, indicates motion as we have it here, because to, pros, tone, the accusative, singular masculine article, ton patera, because to the Father, hupago, present active indicative, first person singular, because to the Father I go away, which probably stands generally for the whole idea of what's about to happen in the next several days, that Christ will be crucified, he will rise from the dead, he will go to the Father, which will become the ultimate vindication, of course, of his righteousness, which is really the topic in view here. So concerning righteousness, because I go away to the Father, kai, connective, uketi, no longer, indeclinable adverb, theoreta me. Theoreo means to behold or to see. This is the second person plural, present active indicative with the object here, me, the first person accusative singular pronoun. So the world is going to be convicted of righteousness because I am going to the Father. You'll no longer see me. It's standing for the idea of the ultimate and complete vindication of Christ, of everything that he said, everything that he was. In other words, in a word, his perfect righteousness. So there's a conviction of sin on the one hand for their refusal to believe, and of course that's set in striking contrast to the righteousness which is going to be completely evident by the fact that Christ will be vindicated in his resurrection, which only accentuates the sinfulness of the sin of those who are now refusing to believe in him.